Hello and welcome to court. So right now I am currently making this gown out of this fabric. And I know what you're thinking. Muse, didn't you just have an outfit made out of that fabric? And the answer to that question is, but was it a gown though? The main body of the gown is going to be that Ankara fabric that is going to be underneath some super sheer volley? I don't know how to say it. I've only ever read it. But this is what it looks like. It is sheer, it is cotton, and it is luxe. And instead of flower detailing, I'm just doing regular ribbon detailing all along that cotton voile. I've already started working with the Ankara fabric. I measured my underbust, divided that by 4, and I'm cutting out those panels that come to about ankle length. It looks like the sheer panel, which will be the cotton for me, is the train, and the ruffle specifically is the train itself. So I'm going to stay true to that. I'm really trying to decide if I want to do pattern matching for the skirt. I have the fabric to do it, but do I have the want to do it? Yeah, I guess I won't be an absolute monster and I'll do it. Okay, but I actually thought through it, and that like sheer panel is a little opaque. So it wouldn't make sense to perfectly pattern match it. Is this excuses? Yes, it is. It is excuses, and I'm completely fine with that. But if like it's going to be kind of hidden, why would I spend kind of a lot of work on it? You know, like that doesn't really like fit with my chaotic sewing vibe I've got going on. My chaotic core. For the sweetheart neckline that is going underneath the sheer, so it's made out of the Ankara fabric, I've taken the apex measurement of my bust, divided that by 2, and then like took the measurement of the highest point I want on the sweetheart neckline, and then I've added about an inch to that because I'm going to have to cut that down and shape it since I'm drafting my own pattern. Normally for a strapless top, I would really care about getting those measurements super accurate so that it's super tight and super structured. But I'm actually going to be making the sheer part about the same measurements as the non-sheer part. So that's going to be sewn to the sheer part, so it's going to hold it up on its own because that part has sleeves and everything. Reason why I'm making this completely out of cotton is because I want it to be wearable. Like, it's a gown, but like I want to be actually able to wear it in the summer and not pass away from heat stroke. I am cutting out the 2 sheer panels which will make the back of this dress that will also make the train. I obviously need to put weights down at the top, which I will do before cutting. However, this is wider than the Ankara fabric, which means that I don't really have to do much work to create that train. It's all going to be one piece. There is a ruffle at the bottom, but it will be fine because I want a train. So the ruffle will be even longer in the back. For those front panels, I will make sure that it is the same length. So when I add that ruffle, it will kind of get longer and train into the back. The train's not going to be super long, but it will be longer than my feet. It'll be a train. You know what I mean? It'll be long, but like, let's not get wild. I did use extra seam allowance on the sheer part of the skirt because I don't want it touching, like I don't want it actually connected to the Ankara fabric underneath. It'll be connected at that waistband, but not on the sides for those side seams. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to pin as much of this together as I possibly can before the baby wakes up. We're gonna see what happens. It is day 2, Dionysus is in the background, and I did get a lot of things pinned. I did not get everything sewn, so I need to start doing that. Right now we're having timing issues with our Singer sewing machine, which is what Dionysus is working on. So we pulled out the Brother sewing machine, and we also have the serger. But I'm working on the white piece of fabric today, so I can't really use the serger. Well, I suppose I could use the serger, but we don't have white thread for the serger, so I'm not going to use the serger. I've got all the white pieces of my skirt sewn together, but I sewed them in an odd way, but I sewed them that way so that it'll make sense later. I'll just show you what I mean. So this back section, which is the back part of the train, has been left open just so that there can be a back closure to this. I haven't done any shaping to these panels. They are literally just sewn together, so I also need to do that. Okay, so I know it looks like I took off a lot, but y'all have to remember that there is a ruffle getting added. So there needed to be a great amount taken off in order for that to hit right onto the floor where it needs to. I don't want to attach this part to the Ankara part until I have already attached that ruffle. So right now I'm going to focus on cutting out that ruffle and then attaching it to this part. Yeah. So it's been a little time since we spoke, and I was procrastinating for no reason. I'd literally gotten to a point where the only things I had left to do were very simple things, and I was like, you know what I need? A break. But yesterday, Dionysus had the day off, and I did a ton of sewing. I did not record because I need to wear this in a week. So like I needed to get it done. I also need to make an outfit for the baby that I have not even started. So I was speed sewing. Let me show you where I'm at now because this actually looks like a gown. So here is the skirt. It has already been serged together at the very top. I've already added the ribbon where there were flowers. and I have already added in the gathered skirt portion. I did make this a little bit shorter than I initially planned, just because I don't really want to be tripping over it trying to run after the baby. But the bottom is hemmed here. It's looking beautiful and I'm loving it. I haven't sewn up the back yet because I plan on doing a zipper, and I do kind of want a pretty long zipper. I don't know if we have a really long zipper, but I want a pretty long zipper because the top is an empire waist and it goes straight into the bottom, and I really want that to have more security on the bottom so it's more stabilized with the top, since it will be attached with the cotton voile, which is quite thin and not a really good stabilizing fabric. Actually, now that I think about it, I might use some of that ribbon, because I have a lot of it, as bias tape right along the zipper just so it has more stability. I think I'm going to do that. This is the top. It still has to be cut, but I've put in those ribbons. I still need to make a collar and attach that, but I do have this all planned out. And then I did want to show you how I did this top underneath. So you saw me cut out this piece here, like the actual band is the same with this here. I have some interfacing, which this is not iron-on interfacing. And I wanted this as a stiffening layer for that top. And then I have some cotton so the interfacing isn't directly against my skin. For the sleeves, I made a sleeve pattern. The top portion about to the elbow is just like your standard fitted sleeve pattern. And then this one is fitted at the wrist, and then it blooms out, and there's some pleating at the very top of the arm. I did make this a little bit too long up here, so I just folded it over the ribbon, which is already inserted, and I'm just going to hand sew that all around. So today I am going to attempt to make the collar. I'm not sure if I'll have time to attach it because the baby wakes up in like 20 minutes. I had a lot of stuff to do today. And then I'm also going to attempt to do the hand sewing because I know I can do that when the baby is awake because they don't mind me like hand sewing next to them. The reason why I typically stop when the baby wakes up is because they also want to sew, which is fine, but like their sewing machine has a real needle, so I need to be looking at them, which means that I can't sew, or I can only hand sew, which is fine, but like I can't be looking into a machine. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. The baby is not awake yet, but I am about to go get them up and I need to start prepping their lunch before I do that. So I'm at a stopping point. I did go ahead and get those sleeves altered. I did cut out a collar and I have that pinned on. And then I have a little bit of detailing in the back that I want to show you. So there is the collar. It's just pinned on for right now. So this is the ribbon that was at the very front, but it like cuts off at a weird angle. I can't see the back of the dress in the picture that I have. So what I've done is extend that, pin this down so that it'll have a little V in the back. And then I am going to add in the exact same ribbon as bias tape from the collar all the way down. But I want to get this sewn on first and then I'll put that on top of it. I also still need to do the sides. I need to serge this, and then I need to attach this to the skirt, but I'm at a stopping point. This outfit turned out absolutely great, and I'm so happy with it. It traveled extremely well, and I was not sweating outside in the southern heat, which is absolutely amazing. I have washed this outfit since, especially since we filmed outside, and I do recommend if you are washing cotton wool to hand wash it. That's what I did. It didn't shrink. I also hand dried it, so just make a note of that. In the future, at some point, I'm probably going to remove the train just so I can wear it more as a casual outfit. I don't have a lot of vintage or historically inspired things that I can wear during the summer, and this is an outfit that I can actually wear during the summer and run around with the baby, but in order to do that, the train's got to go. If you could combine two different types of fabric from two different types of culture, what two cultures would you mesh together and what would the style be? A special shout out to Pixie Rose, Laura, DSA Threads, Melanie, Serena, Casey, Elliot, GP, Kathleen, Fumbling with Thimbles, Just Case, Did Mama, and Kelly. Until next time.